Today we're having a little bit of a heat wave, and I wanted to discuss that when you have your dog and you're doing some training. So today I'm just going to be doing some training with Grim real quick, and we're going to talk about fatigue in the heat, how to keep your dog from overheating, and some of those effects. So let's get into it. We're going to start off with some tug play. Come on, get it. Good boy. Yes. Wow, he fell pretty hard there. He got back up and he kept going though. I'm pretty sure he's all right. Good boy. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Good boy. Out. Drop it. Good boy. Wait. Sit. So Grim is a high energy dog. He's a German Shepherd, and he has two coats. He has an undercoat and he has his regular coat. And he's a long haired German Shepherd. So what happens is he tends to overheat a lot quicker than normal dogs. Not to mention he's all black. We know that black, dark colors, they tend to soak up the sun. So his tongue's already hanging out. We can see that. He's already showing signs of fatigue. Okay, so what that's going to cause is him to heat up very quickly. He's going to get tired very quickly. So we have to be conscious of that. But don't get it confused. Dogs can self-regulate, okay? Dogs can self-regulate. They know when they're getting hot. They know when they need to drink water. Grim, here. If you've ever worked a dog into the point of exhaustion, and you ever worked them into the point of exhaustion and you notice that they stopped working and they went to go sit in the shade, that's a sign that they're letting you know, like, hey, I'm really hot. Another good sign that you can look for is if their tongue starts to swell up and it's full of blood. That lets you know that they are very exhausted. They're showing signs of fatigue. And so during this heat wave, which we're going to have a lot, especially with the weather changing and how the weather is that they predict this year, we're going to have a lot of heat, right? So we want to be cautious of that with our dogs. It's always great to make sure that you have like some water outdoors for the dog. Even if it's a house dog and he's not living outdoors, you want to make sure that water's available because he's going to get pretty hot. Dogs aren't like us. We can regulate heat very well. They have a tough time doing it. Good boy. Good boy. They have a tough time regulating their heat, and their bodies get overheated very quickly, especially when they have a whole lot of fur. Good boy. Yes. Yes. So just make sure that you're, keeping water out. Good boy. Out. Drop. Sit. You're going to notice when it gets hot like this, your commands and the way that the dog's reacting to your commands isn't going to be as sharp, especially when they're super fatigued. So don't get confused when you see these videos on YouTube when people have their dogs walking perfectly in a perfect hill, looking up at them constantly. They're just showing you a short bit of the training. You don't get to see the actual live performance of the dog when they're actually inside of that mode of training, especially during a heat wave, right? This is what that looks like. Your dog's gonna get overheated very quick. They're not gonna show you that when you're looking at those things on a real short clip. They're not gonna show you the mistakes that are gonna be made when the dog is that exhausted, which when the dog gets that exhausted, they're going to make a lot of mistakes. But don't get it wrong, there's dangers to training in a heat wave like how we have recently and how we're going to have in the future with the way that the weather is changing. But at the same time, you don't want to not train your dog. You don't want to not exercise your dog because the problems that could arise from not exercising your dog are way more tremendous than what you're going to have with an outcome of if your dog possibly overheats. And you can prevent your dog from overheating. You can do it pretty easily. You just have to watch for the signs. If your dog is starting to get too fatigued to the point where it doesn't want to work anymore, or to the point where it's like attention is not there, or if you see its tongue swelling up, if it's laying down and it's panting, that might be time to quit. Dogs can self-regulate very well. Grim, when he gets really hot, he'll go and walk to my garage, push the door open, and go inside. You know, smart for a German Shepherd. But he broke the tug. He got it good. It still got some on there. We can still play. Good boy. Yeah. But, you know, it's all about watching your dog and understanding, you know, being sympathetic and empathetic to the dog, knowing like, okay, well, he's starting to overheat. So taking that time to recognize those signs will prevent your dog from, you know, overheating. Now, there is the occurrence of hot spots and flies. That doesn't have too much to do with the heat, but they definitely do come out during that time. A good trick that you can do if you want to prevent those things from happening and those flies getting on your dog's ears and biting them, get some fly traps. Not those fly traps that are the ribbons, but a bag. It comes in a bag. I can't really give you the brand name right now, but you fill it up with water. You'll find them. You can find them at Menards. It's a bag. It's a fly trap. You fill them up with water, and it'll attract all the flies inside of your yard to go to that bag. I don't think that it will call flies from another yard. I think you're pretty safe there, and it works well. I rarely have any flies in my yard, so these traps work great, and they last for days. I mean, like, they can last for like 5 to 6 days. Another thing that comes out is mosquitoes. If you want to prevent those mosquitoes from being pesty, do not leave sitting water around, and then watch the tall grass if you have any around your yard, because they can contain ticks. These are the type of bugs that come out during the heat. But just watch your dogs, take care of your dogs. Watch how they self-regulate. Watch the heat temperature. If you ever want to check to see how truly hot your dog is, put your hand on its back. Grim, here. Sit. Come here. He's still a little bit excited. He's still not tired. Come here. We've only been training for a little bit. Let me see. So right here, if you touch the top of your dog's back, you can see it clearly. If you touch right here and it feels super hot, then that's how you know that your dog is super hot. If it's cool, you can tell that your dog isn't really all that heated up by the sun. I have a lot of shade out here, so he could be out here for, you know, a longer time. But most dogs, you'll notice when you touch them, they'll be burning up, right? And they could only be in the sun for a few minutes and they already start to overheat. They're not good at regulating that temperature like we're good at regulating our temperature. We sweat. Dogs don't do that. They have to produce it through their mouths. And that's why they breathe in, so they can catch that cold air and circulate it through their bodies, you know? So they have a terrible time. They're terrible at regulating their own heat when it comes to their bodies. When it comes to them regulating their own heat themselves, they'll go chill out in the shade. If you've ever walked a dog on a hot day, you know that that dog will stop and stay in the shade, right? So make sure that you're exercising your dog. Just because it's hot doesn't mean that you can't do those things. Grim, here. I think we're gonna go and find his ball. He's barking at a squirrel right now. And don't be tricked by them people on YouTube who seem to have these perfect dogs that never do anything wrong. Remember, you're just watching a short-minute clip. You can't really see how well the dog is trained. You can't really see how that dog is before it's even trained, or anything really dealing with the dog, right? You have to take that stuff with a grain of salt. Some people train for competition sports, you know, and that dog is used for those competition sports. It's not going to be the same as you training your dog to be integrated inside of your household and to perform well there. It's not the same as you training your dog to be up on the table while the groomer is taking care of them or while the vet is taking care of them without them jumping all over the place and going crazy. It's two separate different things, right? I'm not going to train a police dog to be like my hiking dog. It's probably not going to happen, right? They're going to learn two different things. So take that with a grain of salt. The only thing that really matters is your underlying obedience training. Because every dog needs that obedience training. Here, sit. Lay. Lay. Good boy, wait. Good boy, go through. Yes. Here. Good boy. See if you can see him better. Come here. Sit. Good boy. Lay. Lay. Come on, lay. Good boy. Wait, stay. Good boy. You know, and even with treats and things like that, he's not going to listen as well right now because we just got done playing. He's super tired. His tongue is hanging out. He can't focus as well because he's so exhausted. He probably just wants to go inside, to tell you the truth. So his commands aren't going to be as sharp after a while. You can get a dog to a point where they're tired, where they'll listen to you like perfectly because a tired dog is a good dog. But once they reach a certain level of fatigue, they're not going to be as sharp. Sit. Good boy. Lay. Good boy. Go through. Yes. Over here. Good boy. Sit. Yes. Up. And that's him with some motivation. He's not moving quick at all. He's moving sluggish. He's not moving nearly as sharp as what he would be if he was fresh out, you know, not been exercised. But it's perfect for walking. If you got a dog that pulls, if you exercise him before you actually go walk, I guarantee you he will not be pulling. He will be by your side, tired. And that's how they make those videos where they show you their dogs walking perfectly. A majority of the time, their dog is just exhausted, right? I could make a dog act any certain way if it's super tired, because a tired dog is a good dog, right? You just have to watch when it's a heat wave like this. And it's crazy because I think last year we had the same type of heat. We might be ended up having the same type of heat this year. Makes me think I need to start investing in solar panels and things like that. Good boy. Here. Sit. Yes. Lay. And you don't have to give your dog a treat after each command. Sometimes it's good to just give him the food, you know, and just have him work for it. Also, I don't suggest using treats when you're training your dog. Just a side note, you should always use their kibble. You don't want your dog relying on treats. Oh, hold on. He's got one of those, what are they called on his legs? I think some people call them sticky bugs, but they're called briars. I'm gonna get it off real quick. Sorry. I don't think that's a briar. It might be some type of older something that he got into. Oh. Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know what you got into. Looks like old grass or something he got into or something. I don't know how he possibly did that one. Let's see if we can find his ball wherever he done put it in his yard, getting a hold of it when I wasn't paying attention. Let's see. Come on. Go find it. Notice how dark he is. His fur is just soaking up that sun. Yeah. Yep. Look, my daughter already found it. Heard me talking, found it. Whew, it's super hot today. Yep, but if you got any questions, go ahead and drop them below. That's all I really wanted to talk about today. Only spending a few minutes on here. Not really all that much time. Just wanted to let people know it's getting hot. Make sure that you're still doing your work, but watch the level of the dog. You know, we don't want them to overheat. We don't want, you know, them to get any type of sickness from the heat, but we definitely need to work them, or else they're going to tear up your Xbox controller, and then you can have fun with that. I don't know where he's got this ball at. That's why I keep multiple. But this one is a really nice ball that we use. Oh. Look at him. Grim, up. Up. He's like, yes, he's going into the shade. Yeah, he might be ready to go inside. He didn't even have to work that long. As soon as he got out here and ran around for a little bit, he already started showing signs of fatigue. But he's what they got, what they call the zoomies. He's just gone. Come on. I got to make a new tug. He ripped the last one earlier on the live stream completely. I was like, geez, took that thing out. She said that ball was over here. I'm not seeing it. But it's great. I'm pretty happy for the progress of our grapevine. Took a while to grow them, but now, you know, they're coming out, coming full. It takes a couple of years for you to actually, you know, grow them. They're looking really good. I'm gonna have to get a net soon because the birds are gonna start tearing it up. They're gonna have a frenzy, start eating up all the grapes. Come on. Let's get them to get up on this picnic table. We'll do some work. Grim, hop up. Good boy. Yeah, check his ears. Starting to get a little bit hot. Check his paws. Yeah, his tail. He's got a lot of those briars. Bring it. You want to bring it? Come on, bring it. Yeah, hop up. Hop up. Good boy. Let's see. Drop it. Oh, maybe we could play tug with this. It's not really a lot of rope, but it's something. Yes, get it. Yes. Come on. Yeah, he's tired. He's not even giving me the strength that he usually would give me. Come on. Good boy. Yes. I'm kind of cautious about this little rope. Woo. Feel like he's gonna bite my hand on accident. Messing around. Come on, boy. Come on. Yes. Yes. He's not the most careful when he's chewing at stuff. He is, but he isn't. Like, he doesn't bite on purpose, but sometimes he'll accidentally get your hand if you're holding something that's too short that he likes to tug on like this. And I could only blame myself. Really. Good boy. Yeah, he's just laid down. You hear his breathing, how it's increased, how tired he is now. He's just hot. He's not even tugging anymore. He just laid inside of the shade. Good boy. We're going to throw it. Oh, went in the garden. Oh, let's see if I can reach over the fence and grab it. Yeah. Woo, he's fatigued. Now look at his tongue. Hanging out. He's finding shelter. It's way too hot for him. He's ready to go inside and get some water. I'm about to let him. I got about 5 or 6 minutes left on this live stream before I have to head out. So that's it, you know. Work your dogs, exercise them. What they was telling you when you was younger is true. You have to exercise your dog. You can't just sit up there and let them sit in the house and get unhealthy. It's just like yourself, man. You gotta keep your body moving and keep going. I remember, you know, your body slows down over time, and it needs that. Like, I remember when I was younger, I used to go to the gym and fight for, you know, we used to train for like 4 hours, 4 to 8, as soon as we got off school. You know, after getting out of high school and not running every day, it takes its toll on you. Like, I got out of high school, I can't run nearly as far as I used to, you know? And I don't think it had too much to do with age age necessarily. It's just you get out of the routine of working out. You get out of the routine of constantly being active. So you have to remind yourself, like, you know, the body gets weak if the body don't move. Like you got to get out there and move, right? And your dogs need the exact same thing. They got to get out there and move. They need to the work just as much as you need to work. And at a younger age, like Grim is 2 years old. If I didn't train him, you know, to be the dog that he is, he wouldn't he wouldn't be as athletic, you know. And you taking your dog out to exercise is going to make them like a super dog to where they're not going to ever get tired and be like all around your house destroying things. Actually, it's going to do the opposite. It's going to make it so your dog isn't destroying your house. It's going to make it so your dog isn't destroying your things and your dog isn't disrespectful. But the more that you just keep them locked up and the more that they don't get to experience life and experience the things around them, that's frustrating. Like, could you imagine being locked in a cage, waiting for some guy to get home, just for him to get home, take you out for an hour and bring you back, didn't let you talk to your friends, didn't let you do anything, and then he looks at you and says, when you bark, to tell you to shut up, and then he forgets about you for the rest of the day, and then you do that every single day, right? You would be frustrated. You'd be absolutely unhappy. Nobody would be happy in a life like that. And you could see it in dogs, because then that's when you start to see behaviors like them tearing up your things and them destroying your house or them just not listening to you. I would like to say a stubborn dog is just a dog without a job. If your dog is stubborn, he probably just doesn't have a job. He needs something for him to do to get his frustration out, you know? And bones aren't always the answer. Backyard training isn't always the answer. Sometimes you have to get out there and let your dog explore on an off-leash adventure so they can get that exercise, that mental exercise, be able to experience life, you know? It's just like us. We go through a phase where we have to put things in our mouth. We have to go through a phase where we have to use our senses to discover things. Dogs are exactly the same way. They just do it in a little bit different way, but that's how they learn and that's how they grow, you know? So he's absolutely tired and he's going to be all right. You know, he trained out in this heat wave, but he's not going to die. Like, he's not going to die. We could still get out there and train. He could let me know just like he did. Just like he did when I was telling you guys, dogs will self-regulate. He took it upon himself to get inside of his kennel outside and just chill in the shade, you know? And that's what it's all about. Being able to hang out with your dog, exercise your dog, and you'll have a happier dog overall. You'll have a happier dog, a more peaceful dog. So I'll stay on for about 5 more minutes just to see if anybody has any comments, any questions. If you haven't already, go ahead, like, subscribe to the channel, you know, follow us. I can't tell you how much the support is needed and it's appreciated. I get like, I think it's like something like 20,000 views last week. I got so many people who come and view my channel, things like that, and not as many subscribers. The only reason I know that is because I looked at my analytics and I was like, whoa, there's a lot of people who watch the content but still haven't followed the channel. And, you know, I'm not going to lie, I do it too. Like, some of my favorite YouTubers, I forget to like on their videos. I forget to comment on their videos. I forget to do a lot of stuff. So I know people are subscribing because, like, you know, it's hard to keep up with sometimes. Yeah, so I'm going to be on here for the next 5 minutes. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, you know, I'm here to answer them. Any questions about dog training, if you have any problems at home with your dog and you need some quick advice, I got you. Come here, boy. Oh, you know what? Since nobody has any comments, real quick before I go, um, kennels. Before you lock your dog up inside of the kennel, make sure that you have exercised them. Take them out, exercise them, allow them, mosquito, huge. Allow them to use the bathroom, you know, go out, exercise them as good as you can. If your dog barks in the kennel and he has that anxiety, that right there, that exercise of making him tired before you actually put him in the kennel is going to alleviate that anxiety almost completely. And if there's still a little bit of anxiety, get some chunks of meat, put them inside of a Kong, toss it inside of that kennel, close the door, and just walk away. Him being tired with that food, you'll have no problems at all. You'll have no problems at all. Get him tired, put that food inside of the kennel, and then he will be completely fine. Yeah, that's, you know, that's one of the best tips. I might do a video about that. Getting dogs crate trained. I don't believe in keeping a dog in a crate all the time though, because you kind of want them out. But they find it as a home. It is a special home for them. Dogs are usually den animals. They like to be inside of a den, and that crate represents that pretty well. But yeah, that's some advice. Put them treats inside of that kennel. You'll be absolutely fine. With a tired dog inside of there, all that anxiety will be gone. You know, that used to be a rule that people used to follow all the time. I don't know where it got lost. It got lost in all this convoluted dog lessons that people come up with, instead of trying to use tried true methods that have been here forever, that we've always done, that people are just trying to get away from for some reason. It's like people hear things and then they're like, oh, that's how it used to be done. But sometimes how it used to be done is sometimes the best way to do it. You know, you don't always want to be like that. Like some information, you want to keep moving with the times, but there's just some things that just work that you don't want to just constantly keep changing. You know, push the limits of our reality, but don't push them so much to the point where we start to get away from reality. You know, those tried true methods usually work the best. That boy is ready to sleep. So any comments, any questions, drop them down below. Go ahead, go to the channel, subscribe, you know, follow us. Get us up there. We're all a community. We're all part of the Prairie Shepherd. If you train dogs and you watch the channel, you're part of this. You're part of the Prairie Shepherd. You know, you're part of our community. If you're on Off Leash Adventures and you follow us, you're part of our community. Go there, like the channel, subscribe, you know, comment. I love talking to people and giving advice. You know, I like hearing from people and hearing their stories. I like hearing how their training's going. He's about to go in and pass out. He's super tired. Beautiful animal. Grim is the truth. You know, he deserves it. Grim deserves a high every now and then and the like. Grim deserves it. He works hard. He works hard to do his job and works hard to bring everybody the content that we love, the information that we share that's great for our dogs. You know, that's his job. He's got a job and he does it well. Hard work ethic. That's that Midwest work ethic. Well, I'm going to go ahead and head out of here. This has been from the Prairie Shepherd. You know, this is Grim. And we're out.